DJI has released the Air3S drone, and I don't think it's even worth a consideration to getting one. That is a bold statement made by a bold guy on the internet, but hear me out. I want to talk about a couple of things why I think the Air3S is not worth it. And more importantly, I want to talk about a little danger or a trap many of us can fall when buying expensive gear, be it a new drone or new camera. And believe me, I have been there, and I want you not being on that situation where I was a few years ago. And I'm of course talking about buying things we really can't afford, especially when you want to buy these things with a credit card. So if you watch this video, maybe I can save you some money and take a little bit pressure out of your twisted melon. Of course, the Air3S is impressive. I mean, it has dual cameras. Think, for example, you are doing automotive photography, and it's really nice to have a little bit longer lens to get the proportions right. If you are shooting cars with 24mm, that's a little bit too wide. It has 45 minutes flight time. Not that your goldfish brain would not get bored in 45 minutes of flight, but it's nice to have. Obstacle avoidance, LiDAR, whatever, it has everything you could possibly want or need in a drone. And yet you are telling me it's too expensive. It costs way over 1,000 euros or dollars. They are pretty much the same these days, about 1,000. If you get the Fly More kit, 1,500 money units. And that's exactly not pocket money, at least not for me. Maybe you have that kind of money in your pocket all the time. But I don't think that in 2024, when everything's getting quite expensive, cost of living is skyrocketing, rent, housing prices, cars, whatever, it's not exactly pocket money to dump on a depreciating asset. Depreciating asset? What should that even mean? Well, you buy the drone. The moment you unbox it, the moment you take it out of the shop, the value starts going down. Like down. Down! It's like you buy a new car. The moment you drive it off the courtyard of the dealership, the value goes like 20-30%. It's like, cut away. Money gone. Now, if you don't pay your new drone with cash, like right away, you are paying interest on the credit card. So you are financing a depreciating asset with the money you have to pay for, like 20% interest rate if you are not paying it in full right away. And that kind of equation doesn't make that much sense. Let me tell you a story about my camera. You know, a few years ago I bought myself a Canon EOS R, the first mirrorless of Canon, and I financed it with a 0.0% interest. You know, you pay the camera off for like 2 years. What do you think? 2 years? Did I care about the EOS R after 2 years? I didn't even had paid the camera off, and I was already like bored. I want the next thing. Do you think that's like a kind of way to finance these things? No, because the dopamine hit you get when you are unboxing the new drone or new camera doesn't last 2 years. And in 2 years there's like a 3 generations, well, not quite, but almost like second to third model, the evolution to revolution. There came the Canon R5, the R6, Mark II, whatever, everything. And you want that too. The problem is that you are still hanging on to finance because it's not technically your camera, and you shouldn't be selling it before you have paid it in full. And if you watch camera YouTube like I do to some extent, you see like the guys are always having the newest gear, always the newest and the best. But you know, they are not paying for them themselves. They are not paying it with their own money. They are getting them from the manufacturers and the marketing. And you kind of end up in this trap of missing out. You have the fear of missing out when you don't have the latest gear. But truth to be told, you don't have to have the latest to join the party. But if you still want to have the newest and the best tech, You want to have the Air3S. I'm not against you buying it. Just do it with cash. If you have that kind of money, go bonkers. Buy it. I don't care what are you using your money for. What I'm trying to tell you, to do yourself a favor, do not buy these things on credit, because the credit is gonna hold you back. You are paying high interest on a depreciating asset. In the worst case, you even crash your drone before you have paid it in full and you end up with a heap of electronic junk. That's not gonna bring you a dopamine kick, is it? But it's an investment, right? Well, no, it isn't. Yeah, it might be an investment, but only if you are making money with the new Air3S. Then you can describe it as an investment. Otherwise, it's just a hobby, it's a toy. You are not getting any monetary return on the money you spend. And that's by definition is an investment, I think. I would like to know on the comments down below if I'm really like off the rails here, blasting about not getting debt because of camera gear. I would like to hear your opinion on this topic. What would I do then? If you really want to have the newest drone, you have a couple of options. You can maybe rent one. Maybe the older model would be as, well, let's say 90% as good as the newest one. Maybe there's a little gimmick you don't actually need, because all the bells and whistles, maybe you realize after using the drone for some time that they doesn't matter actually at all. There are some marketing gimmicks, they are gonna twist your melon like, oh, I want that. I need that, actually I don't want it, I need it. Well, maybe you can manage also without. Maybe it doesn't make your life easier. Cut the credit card in half or burn it. Save money up in front. Like maybe you could like have a little small chunk of your cash and you could put it aside. I mean, that's basically what you are gonna do with the credit card, right? Maybe you can just save it up front. And until you have saved the sum for the new drone, there's like the next one out there. And you can buy the newest one with cash. And you're gonna rule the skies.